to say at the time, but I thought about it and I said, Stacy, I can't answer that question whether you're doing the right thing. Only you can. But realize that if women's saber does not come into the Olympic Games now, it may never come in. This is the golden chance that you have, and you have to ask yourself two questions. Is it in the best interest of U.S. fencing for women's saber to come into the Olympic Games? Is it in the best interest of fencing for women's saber to come into the Games? And so she fought hard, and of course, as I pointed out, the rest was history. Now, I don't keep too many mementos. I'm not like Amy Shaw with all this memorabilia around the room. But I did keep the thank you note that I received in November of 2004. It wasn't only me, it was a printed note that went to a lot of people, and in it was enclosed a picture of the medal ceremony in Athens, signed by Mario Zagunis, who Mario on the women's stand for the gold medal, and Seda next to her for the silver. And this is what the note said. Deep appreciation and thanks for supporting U.S. fencing in reaching our goals. First time women's saber in the Olympic program. First gold medal ever for women in fencing. First time ever to win a gold and bronze together. First medals for U.S. fencing in 20 years. And of course, the 20 years goes back to Peter Westbrook's bronze medal in the Olympic Games in Los Angeles. Through these past 4 years, I have personally felt your support for me and for our sport. I apologize that it took me a while to get this photo to you. Starting a doctoral program at the University of Texas at Austin has slowed my pace a bit, but I wanted you to know that I value your support and friendship through my tenure as president. And to the type note was something in her own handwriting. Steve, you are my most special mentor. You made a difference. And I still cherish that particular note. Now, it's not all that Stacy has done. We haven't mentioned a thing about her professional life. Stacy is a PhD in education and a PhD in community college leadership. She is the vice president of Palo Alto College. So Dr. Stacy Johnson, when she applied for this PhD program, they required a letter of recommendation. And she asked me if I would write the letter of recommendation, and I very quickly said yes, and then I thought about it, and I said, I don't know anything about PhDs in education. How can I be responsible? So I asked her to send me a copy of the application so I could know what they're looking for and how I could respond. And one of the items in the application happened to be a requirement that the applicant write a personal essay about herself. And I have to admit that after I studied the application, I think I learned more about Stacy than I learned about PhD in education. But she had a very dynamic, open, said, I'm not going to read the whole essay because we don't have to be here all night, but I would like to read just the first sentence of the essay and the concluding paragraph. It's very difficult. I know when I had to write all these things, getting into college and then law school and then to help my children do the same thing, I had a lot of difficulty figuring out what to say. But somebody as dynamic as Stacy probably had no difficulty at all. I mean, anybody who could write you have between now and May 23rd to save fencing from extinction came up with a great opening sentence. I was born to make a warrior's journey. I need to continue my warrior's journey towards educational excellence and community college leadership. Much like the ultimate goals of the Olympic movement of peace through shared experience, quality education in open access institutions is a key to a more illuminated populace and a more prosperous and peaceful nation. Although I have been traveling the warrior's path half a lifetime, I sense that my most vital journey is just beginning. Now, Stacy's very relaxed over there because she's very used to getting admitted to halls of fame. It just took the USSA a long time to realize it. She was inducted into the San Antonio Women's Hall of Fame, in the San Jose Sports Hall of Fame, in the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame, and in the Institute for International Sport. So before we invite Stacy up, I thought it would be appropriate to invite two other Hall of Fame winners, her teammates, to join me on the podium as we present the award to Stacy. Vincent and Gay. And now our newest member of the Hall of Fame, Stacy Gay.
Thank you, Steve. I'm going to thank you a little bit more in just a moment. But what I feel at this moment is gratefulness, humbleness, and joy to be recognized by the USA Fencing, and by its president, Callie Weeks, the officers, its board, and the membership. I want to thank Andy, Steve, and Arnie for their passionate work in supporting and preserving the history of fencing in the Hall of Fame. It is noble and important work indeed. I want to thank and congratulate my fellow members and really do feel humbled to be in your company as I honor the outstanding athleticism and contributions that each of you have made to our beloved sport. Steve, thank you for making the introduction and for being a deep mentor, a strong guide in my life, someone who has taught me many things in my journey. You've taught me about the Olympic movement, about law, about due process, about fairness, about friendship, and about caring from the beginning of the journey and never stopping. You are a wonderful teacher and mentor. True mentorship doesn't fall away, it is enduring and always. And I can't really express properly what you have meant to me in my life. Thank you. Thank you for being here today and being with me through the challenges and all the years. There's a great quote that says, "We are indeed the sum of our relationships in life." If this is true, and I think it is, I want to thank and honor my three wonderful teammates who are here tonight, Gay, Vinny, and Isabella Farkas. There's no doubt that being with you and your immense talent, but more importantly, your unconditional love and support through all these years, I would not have excelled in sport or in life. Much of the best of my fencing came in working as a member of a team with each of you. I also want to recognize my two key coaches in fencing. My first fencing master was Gerard Poujadou, and in my key competitive years, the genius of Michael DeSaro. What made Michael's coaching so critical for me was not just the incredible technical lessons he brought, which elevated my game, but his interest in the development of the warrior spirit. The emotional, spiritual, and psychological element has served me very well through the rest of my life. There is a great feeling of completeness, of closing the circle now, being in the hall with Gay and Michael and Vinny. And just to touch a little bit on my administrative service, I was really afraid to become president. And I've gone off on a vacation. I mean, I was really afraid. The only woman had served 2 years, and she was a judge, and they ran her out, okay? And so I was very afraid. And I imagined in my mind this circle of women that I was going to call on for wisdom. My mother, my grandmother, a philosophy faculty member that was great, my yoga teacher, and Carla May. I sought Carla's counsel, both in person in those years and in my mind's eye when she wasn't around. I still use this circle of women in my mind to help me today when I have tough choices to make. Carla is a good and caring spirit and trailblazer for women in this sport, and I will always keep Carla close to my heart. She put up with the brat that was me and tried to help, always. I also want to thank all the members in that worked with me in the administration. I felt we really worked together as a team to accomplish the things that we did, and most importantly, that we achieved equity for women's sport, although it came at a very high price, as it sometimes does in the evolutionary process for equity. One such person that helped mightily during that time period for me was Carl Borak, and he is very ill, and I would ask everybody to keep him in your thoughts and prayers. And finally, I want to thank my family members who are here tonight and have traveled long distances to come and support me. My brother Todd, my 3 cousins, Julie, Susan, and Craig, and my brother and sister-in-law, Chris and Rosemary, and of course my husband of 24 years, Rob Hook. I love you. In closing, I have one little small favor to ask. It'll also help us out, I think. Would every single Olympian that's in the room, would you please stand? Just for a minute, please. Olympians inspire our organization and everyone in it to reach higher in our collective aspirations for excellence in everything that the organization seeks to do, from the grassroots work of creating more access to our sport to the medals that outstanding athletes accept on the Olympic podium. As the Olympic